1 week down on Zepbound, 15 milligrams, the highest dose that you can go currently on Zepbound, tirzepatide, GLP-1 medication. 1 week down, my friends. Did I lose all the weight? Is the food noise gone? Is the hunger suppression at full strength? I am going to tell you everything today, right now. Welcome back, my friends. I am Cheryl. This is my channel where for almost 2 years, guys, we are coming up on the 2-year anniversary of my weight loss journey, my lifestyle modification, and taking my life back. So welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me in the car today. I have left Massachusetts, currently driving through Rhode Island, going to Connecticut to pick up my grandson. So I am very excited. I've got my grandson for the weekend. And by the way, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Today is Valentine's Day, so it is February 14th, 2026. And I am pretty excited to get to spend this Valentine's Day with my little peanut. So, or not so little, he is so tall. Every time people see him, they think he's so much older than he is. He's extremely, extremely tall. So that's very exciting. And this is like a big monumental occasion. He has slept at my house before for a couple of days at a time. And, you know, I have him whenever they need to do anything or I go there. But this will be the first time that Gigi will be taking him in the car. So my son is going to meet me at the house, and he's going to transfer the car seat into Gigi's car. So that is very, very big deal. This is the first time. He will be 2 in April, which is mind-boggling, because if you have been with me since the beginning, you guys were actually here with me when he was born. And I had been on this journey for just a little bit of time, maybe about 6 weeks when Rowan was born. And I had gone to Connecticut to stay at their house while they were in the hospital. And then I spent the week with them after the baby was born. And you guys were there with me. I'll see if I can link it below, but I did a video from their house to talk to you guys because I couldn't wait to talk to you guys and tell you. So if you've been with me that long, thank you so much. And if not, go check that video out. I'm sure it is not that great because that was the beginning of my YouTube journey. Not that my videos are great now, but it definitely wasn't that good. So this week on Zepbound, we went last Saturday to 15 milligrams. I had started to gain a little bit of weight. I had really very little hunger suppression at that point, and the food noise was creeping back. So after 6 months on 12.5 milligrams, I finally spoke to my doctor and we went up to 15 milligrams. And in my heart of hearts, I was thinking, okay, here we go. This is going to be the final stretch. I'm going to take this shot and everything is going to be magical. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And yeah, not so much. I was starving this week. It was the weirdest thing. I took the shot on Saturday evening. Sunday, we went to my parents' house for a turkey dinner. So turkey is really not my favorite. So I didn't really eat very much, but it wasn't for lack of hunger suppression. It was just, it had been a busy day. I don't really enjoy turkey. She had made dessert and I had a couple of cream puffs. So I definitely didn't eat as much as I normally would have. I will say that. Monday and Tuesday, even Wednesday, I was hungry, like stomach growling at work. work hungry. And I remember being at work on Tuesday with my coworker, who is also my son's girlfriend of over 3 years. And I remember it was like 10:30 in the morning, and I had my protein shake, and I had a Fit Crunch bar. And I remember looking at Riley, and I was like, what in the actual? I'm starving. My stomach is growling. I had made a tuna sandwich a couple of days this week, like a tuna wrap on the Mission Carb minis, and I ate that at like 12:15 both days. I don't know. I was frustrated, to say the least, because it wasn't like I was starving myself. I was having my protein in the morning. I ended up eating a bar 4 out of the 5 days. Monday, I had some dental work, so I had gone to the dentist, so I wasn't super hungry on Monday because my jaw hurt. I had a wisdom tooth issue, and he was doing a lot of work, and I was like trying to be forced to, you know, keep my mouth as open as possible. So my jaw still hurts. So I wasn't hungry really on Monday just because of the pain. But I don't know. I just was a little disappointed that I was as hungry as I was. Maybe we just needed to get into my system a little bit more. That's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm trying to stay extremely positive and open-minded. Oddly enough, even typically when I take my shot, give me 1 second. Typically when I take my shot a couple of days later, the injection site will be itchy, and you know, I'll notice it, and it'll end up being a little red because I'll scratch it throughout the week. And this week I didn't have that. So I'm not saying the shot didn't work. I know, like, I injected it, I know I felt it, but I do find it strange that I didn't really have that that reaction this week. Typically, for like the past year and a half, in the very beginning, like on 2.5, I don't think I had that reaction, but I have that reaction most of the time, where after a couple of days, I definitely know where the injection site was because it'll be itchy. So that is strange, because I can remember it was like in the lower part of my stomach on the left-hand side that I did the injection, but there's no redness, no itchiness. So I am finding that a little bit interesting. But as far as side effects, nothing really changed this week. I had like one day, Tuesday or Wednesday, where I had the tiniest bout of nausea. And when I say tiniest, less than 5 minutes, I felt it come on. Not even enough time to think about it, to think about, should I take Zepbound or not? And it was gone. And then I never thought of it again. So, and that was really it. I had no additional stomach issues, nothing like that. The only thing different this week on the positive is I have been sleeping better. And when I say better, I've been getting at least 4 hours of sleep. And I know for many people, like, oh my God, that's not. For me, to get 4 consistent hours of sleep is actually amazing. I'm not a great sleeper. I'm a very light sleeper. I typically hear everything, and it's just like, I feel like it's mom sleep. You know, I hear the kids no matter where they are. I wake up if somebody coughs or sneezes. I wake up if my husband gets up to go to the bathroom. I'm a very light sleeper, not a great sleeper. And I had really been struggling the last couple of months. I have mentioned that I do believe menopause is really a big part of that. I'm not really blaming Zepbound for this. I am blaming life, stress, and menopause, and the fact that I'm just not a great sleeper anyway. But I have added a new magnesium, and I'm so thrilled. I have been getting several hours of sleep, and I've been sleeping through those hours. So I typically fall asleep between 11 and 12:30, depending on what time I go to bed, depending on when I take the magnesium, and I've been sleeping till like 4 or 5 o'clock. So that has been fantastic, and I'm feeling much better. I will tell you guys more, I think, in Monday or Tuesday's video about the magnesium that I am taking. I'm very excited. What else? So overall, technically, I guess I did lose this week. This morning, I am 138.6. So I definitely did lose. You guys can go back to last week's video. I don't even remember what I was. I know at one point I was back up to 141, and that's when I decided to take the 15 milligrams. So I'm not even sure if it was Saturday or if it was before that. I'm not sure where I exactly was on Saturday. So I did lose this week. If you really consider the daily, you know, I'm never 100% sure, because I feel like it's all just, you know, all over the place. I weigh daily, so I always kind of take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. So I don't know. And I'm not sure if anything major happened this week. Like I said, I'm very hopeful that, okay, that was really weird, guys. This has never happened before, and I never even thought about it. My phone just shut off because it overheated. Now, I've done videos and stuff outside in the summertime where I've had that problem because of the sun or leaving my phone like on the deck near the pool. But I have my phone in like a clip in one of the vents. They sell those. And apparently the heat, and like my heat wasn't even on. It was just like on, but like on like the lowest setting. I don't have the blower on or anything. And my phone overheated from the heat vent. So yeah, I think I need to get a new setup there, because that's not good. I don't want my phone overheating every time I'm using it for like even GPS or whatever. But that was weird. Okay, so anyway, I am almost to my son's house, and I'm gonna get the baby. But yeah, so the week was just, I don't know, this was a weird week. This felt like the longest week ever. And February, typically, if you work in a school, you know, February can be tricky anyway. I don't know, the kids were just like wild this week, but I've just had a lot going on. I'm dealing with stuff with my parents. I'm dealing with stuff with an extended family member. We've had stuff going on. I got a phone call from my son yesterday. He was this close to a really bad car accident. A truck came up behind him, passed him on the right, and going into an intersection, the guy hit somebody else and flipped over literally right beside my son, and he watched all of this unfold. It appears with all of the beer cans and everything that then fell out the window that this man was intoxicated at 2:30 in the afternoon. So that was great. And my son is supposed to leave either tonight or tomorrow to drive down to Georgia. They have to go pick up his girlfriend's horse. Unfortunately, they got a phone call the other day. The horse is lame and she's devastated, and the horse was in Georgia for training. They have to go get the horse. So now I'm stressed out because I know he's leaving and he has to drive, and he's driving his truck in this 35-foot trailer down to Georgia. That stresses me out. It's just, and we had a really crazy medical situation at work the other day. I had to call 911 for a coworker. This coworker is under 30 years old. We ended up having to call 911, and it just makes you realize, I've said it a million times, but life is just so short. Don't take things for granted, because tomorrow is just never promised. And, you know, sometimes things happen throughout your week or your month or your year that really makes you realize these things. And this week definitely did that for me. Ironically, I did have a video out this week about that exact topic. I will link that below. If you have not yet seen that video, go check that video out. Tomorrow is not promised, my friends. Take the vacation, make the plans, do the things. Yeah, so I'm trying to just find ways to get myself to decompress daily, at least for a little bit of time, because like everybody, you know, life is stressful, and there's just been a lot that I've had to take on lately, and I kind of wonder if that's been contributing a little bit to my kind of all over the place with my journey recently. And I know that I've got to get exercise, weight training, something in there. I'm waiting for this gray disgustingness to go away, because I don't have the mental mindset to do that right now. But I think that's going to about do it. I'm about 1.5 miles away, so I am going to go spend the weekend with my little buttercup, and Rema has fun things planned for him. So I think that's going to do it for you guys for today. Let me know what dose you guys are on and how your week was. I'm always very interested to know how you guys are all doing as well. So thank you all so much for being here. If you are new, I would love it if you would stick around, subscribe, comment, like, share, do all of the things, because it really does help me out, and we're trying to get these videos out to as many people as possible to try to help grow the community. I love and adore each and every one of you. Remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, you just go out and you be the damn sunshine. Bye, everybody.